Work-life balance isn't a luxury for women in leadership. It's not something you earn after everything else is done. It's a leadership skill, a competency that helps you think clearly, lead calmly, and show up with the energy your team needs from you. And in today's demanding professional world, that matters more than ever. Many women leaders are carrying triple loads, delivering results at work, supporting colleagues, and managing responsibilities at home and in their communities. On top of their formal roles, they also shoulder the invisible work: emotional labor, relationship maintenance, team morale, mentoring, the quiet glue that keeps workplaces functioning. Research shows women leaders do significantly more of this work, yet it's rarely acknowledged or rewarded. So it's no wonder so many women feel stretched thin, even when they're performing at the highest levels. But here's the good news. Study after study shows that leaders, especially women leaders, who cultivate balance actually improve their decision making, increase team trust, and perform better over time. Balance is not about doing everything. It's about doing what matters most with calm, clarity, and confidence. And one of the biggest shifts is redefining what balance even means. Most people imagine balance like a perfect scale, where work and life are split 50-50. But research from Harvard Business Review found that leaders who think of balance as alignment, not equality, are significantly more satisfied and far less burned out. So instead of asking, "How do I fit everything in?" try asking, "Does my week reflect what matters most to me?" That simple shift helps you design your time with intention instead of pressure. One practical way to do this is by identifying what needs your best energy each week. Maybe it's a conversation you've been putting off, maybe it's rest, maybe it's a high stakes project. When you plan around energy rather than obligations, you start leading from purpose instead of overwhelm. Another essential piece of work life balance for women leaders is emotional regulation, the ability to stay grounded when expectations are high and challenges show up unexpectedly. Women often carry more emotional labor at work than their male counterparts. Research from Penn State shows that women leaders manage significantly more emotional dynamics, supporting team members, mediating conflict, maintaining morale, yet receive less recognition for that labor. Over time, that can lead to emotional exhaustion, one of the strongest predictors of burnout. But emotional regulation helps interrupt that cycle. Studies in the Journal of Occupational Health Psychology show that leaders who practice brief self regulation techniques, like slow breathing or naming their emotions, reduced emotional exhaustion by 25% in just 8 weeks. 2 minutes of grounding can shift the entire trajectory of your day. Imagine walking into a tense meeting, not flooded, not reactive, but calm and centered. You listen better. You communicate more clearly. You lead from composure, not pressure. Leadership is not soft, it's strategic. Research published in Frontiers in Psychology shows that calm leaders increase team creativity and performance by up to 27%. Why? Because when a leader is calm, the team feels safe. And when people feel safe, they think more clearly, share more openly, and perform at their best. A calm leader doesn't ignore stress. They manage it intentionally so it doesn't spill onto everyone else. Another essential element of balance is emotional intelligence. Women leaders often excel in empathy and relationship building, which are two of the strongest predictors of effective leadership. But when those strengths are overextended, when empathy becomes overfunctioning or availability becomes constant self sacrifice, burnout creeps in. A major review in Leadership Quarterly found that leaders high in EQ created more engaged teams and reduced turnover, but those who took on too much emotional caretaking were far more likely to exhaust themselves. The solution isn't losing empathy, it's applying it with boundaries. One simple practice is setting designated times for emotional check ins rather than being available around the clock. This still supports the team, but it also protects your energy for high level thinking and strategic decisions. And then there's the invisible load, the emotional labor that women leaders perform even at the highest levels of leadership. The McKinsey and Lean Women in the Workplace report found that 60% of women leaders are responsible for team well being initiatives, compared to only 40% of men. Yet these contributions rarely influence promotion decisions unless they're explicitly documented. One of the most powerful steps you can take toward balance is naming and documenting this work. Track your mentoring, track the conflict resolution you do, track the morale boosting efforts you lead. This isn't bragging, it's leadership. And when review season comes, present this work as the strategic contribution it is. Boundaries also play a critical role in sustainable leadership. For many women, boundaries trigger guilt because society has conditioned women to prioritize others' needs first. Yet research in the Journal of Applied Psychology shows that leaders who set clear work boundaries experience dramatically lower burnout and higher overall well-being. Boundaries don't make you less committed. They make your commitment sustainable. You can practice this through strategic no's, declining work not with rejection, but with redirection, or by setting clear communication windows or turning off notifications during recovery hours. These choices protect your mental bandwidth so you can lead with clarity instead of depletion. And when leaders model balance, their teams follow. According to Deloitte, 77% of employees say the behavior of their leaders is the biggest factor affecting their work-life balance. When you take time off, your team feels safer doing the same. When you communicate boundaries, your team feels permission to set their own. Leadership is contagious for better or for worse. Thriving, not just surviving, means moving beyond constant output into a more intentional, aligned way of leading. Research from the Center for Creative Leadership found that leaders who regularly engage in recovery activities like mindfulness, nature walks, or digital detoxes boosted their creativity by over 20% and improved their leadership ratings by nearly the same amount. Recovery isn't a break from leadership, it's part of leadership. So as you move forward, try ending each week with a simple reflection. What energized me? What drained me? What small shift could make next week better? Tiny adjustments compound into powerful change. Balance is not about perfection, it's about presence. When you align your values, your energy, and your actions, you lead with more clarity, more compassion, and more impact. You set the tone for your team. You create healthier cultures. And you build a legacy not just of results, but of humanity. When women leaders thrive, not just survive, everyone around them rises too.